definitely podcasting on the road. Check it out. We're doing a special episode of Eli Talk today. Ooh. Peace, family. This is a special edition of the Eli Talks podcast. Usually, I do a live video or whatever, but this is, I had to get the gist of the vibe of what's really going on, like while I'm on vacation. So, for those who don't know, we are currently in vacation in Orlando, Florida. I actually used to live here. Thinking about that, most definitely moving back. But I'm just having the time of my life, experiencing life and whatnot. Really nice, I brought my iPad with me, so now I'm able to do portable podcasts. If you know, you know. But today's episode in general is going to be a question that a lot of people have been asking, and a lot of people have been wondering about. Excuse me, too. Got a lot of mucus in my chest right now. But it's going to be about how did the Alexander brand start, or what's the Alexander brand story? From the podcast to the online store to the business, all of that stuff. And I would say it started about, 2 years ago, I would say. Around 2 years ago in 2018. And I originally we started out on Etsy. It just started out as an online. We're going to go a little bit further back. So, back when I was in high school, I used to do YouTube. A lot of people know I used to do YouTube. I used to do the videos, and I was always interested in podcasting, but I never made the connection. So, I originally got into a relationship, tried to do the little podcast TV show with the girl who was my girlfriend at the time, and she tore that apart. So that went down the drain and whatnot. So when that went down the drain, my mama used to teach me how to make the shea butter and blend the oils that I do now for the company. And she eventually got too busy for that, just to run that store online, because she started out on Etsy. So in the event, she taught me this stuff, and I took over her accounts and whatnot, and we were booming ever since then. And then from there, actually we started out really started out doing sublimation products, like magic color changing mugs, and we still do for special occasions, but magic color changing mugs, t-shirts, anything that's sublimatable, you can pretty much guess that we were doing it at the time. So we got our start in that and whatnot, and then thug that out for a few months, and then over time I just kept growing the company. Started adding a different scents of shea butter, started to add the roll-on body oils, and those blew up, and then the essential oils as well, and then we start adding soap, stuff like that. Now, as far as being official, we officially became official in 2020, as far as the corporation goes. And it was 2019, I would say, is where I took the extra step to start podcasting. Because a lot of people know of the Alexander Brand Network, which is what this show was actually on and presented by us, the Alexander Brand Network. But, I was really interested in getting into the podcast game, because I seen where podcasts was going within the next few years. So I took it upon myself to get two of my closest friends, and they I told them, y'all want to do a podcast or whatever. And that's how that came about, and that is what turned into the Let's Talk About Whatever podcast, which is still around to today. Which is a great show. We're doing a lot. The podcast is making money off streams, little cents off streams, so it's really good. But and with time we will get better. But never stress the process. But after that, we grew the podcast over the next year, and then that led to 2020, which has been one of our best years. I built up the website, the alexanderbrand.com website, and then I started incorporating the digital services when COVID hit, because when COVID hit, I was doing pop-up shops. Like, when we went official this year, as far as being a corporation, the plan was to book every pop-up event that I could book, because that's where a lot of small businesses get paid thousands of dollars, because at each event it's thousands of people just looking for stuff to buy. So in the midst of, I booked, when 2020 first started, I booked a whole bunch of shows, and in the middle of booking all of these shows, the COVID-19 hits. So all the shows that I booked, I put down deposits for all of these events and stuff, and when COVID-19 hit, everything got canceled. So I had to find another way to make money and whatnot. So that's when the digital services came along, and where I started doing Zoom calls, teaching people how to make money online, teaching people how to drop ship, like we drop ship our clothing, as well as teaching people the different ways to make money online, but as well as teaching people how to podcast. Because a lot of people know that they can podcast, like I'm doing right now, off an iPad, off a cell phone. You don't need a microphone or expensive camera or anything. You can really do it anywhere, like we're doing right now while I'm on vacation. So, and then the digital, it just kind of turned into me helping people, offering my services for businesses or people who just started a business and they don't have no direction to go. And that's what I found was my gift, is that in business, I'm people's problem solver. So that's exactly what the digital services of the Alexander Brands are. It's basically, we have a one-on-one Zoom consultation. And basically, we just go through all the things that you need help with and all the things that are your problems with your business. And then I teach you how to solve those problems and take your business to the next level online, as far as building your online presence. Now, I definitely got to thank Brother Ben X, the ABS Tribe, Jake Taylor, Jake Jacob. I don't even know Jake's last name, but I gotta thank those people for giving me the game. The ABS Tribe, the ABS Institute is really what gave me the digital game on digital real estate and how to survive during the COVID-19 pandemic, in which we implemented to the Alexander brand. So now, that's pretty much the brief story of how the Alexander brand started. For anybody who really wanted to know, because I get asked that a lot, and I don't think I ever gave like a full in-depth interview or a full in-depth answer to how did we start the Alexander brand. That's the gist of the Alexander brand. We had the online store with skincare and aromatherapy products available. We also have the Alexander brand network with the Let's Talk About Whatever podcast and the Eli Talks podcast, which you're listening to today. We also have our digital services, in which we help people scale their business and take their business to the next level. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this little short mini episode. If you did, feel free to like, subscribe, and share if you see this on YouTube. Also, if you're interested in doing any business, feel free to hit us up. We're always open to networking and working with new people. We're also big on collaboration. And big on helping people. And if you, for people who are interested in digital services and it might be a little too pricey for you, we have payment options. So we can work out a deal, just hit my DMs and we can work out something. So, but for the most part, that's a brief, short story of the Alexander brand. Maybe later down the line, I'll do a big episode on how I got into podcasting, how podcasting is treated and stuff like that. But for now, that's just a brief story of the Alexander brand. Matter of fact, while we're still here, we're gonna do that for the next episode of Eli Talks. But we're gonna do a vacation episode, a brief I don't even know how to say what's the word, but a brief summary of my vacation in Orlando. But like, subscribe, share if you want to donate. If you're listening to this on any podcast platform, you guys are welcome to donate, or also subscribe to my subscription service. $4.99 is the cheapest, $9.99 is the highest. So if you want to support me, feel free to subscribe to the subscription service, and you're paying me monthly to keep bringing you great content. So thank you guys for listening. Shop the Alexander brand, www.thealexanderbrand.com. And you can listen to this podcast anywhere you get your podcast, as well as the Let's Talk About Whatever podcast. Peace.